August the 28th, 1963, Martin Luther King delivered his I Have a Dream speech in Washington, D.C. A lot of you will remember exactly where you were when that speech took place. July 20th, 1969, man stepped on the moon for the first time as a part of the Apollo 11 mission. For our sports fans, February the 22nd, 1980, the miracle on ice is the United States defeated the Soviet Union in hockey in the 1980 Olympics. November 9th, 1989, the fall of the Berlin Wall, which led to the reunification of East and West Germany a year later. And today, all of us moving forward will always remember, now and in the future, where we were on Thursday, June the 6th, 2019, as we dedicate the Bob Prevatte Athletic Complex. My name is Charles Wyatt. I'm the Vice President for Communications and Marketing here at Limestone College, and I'd like to welcome all of you to this dedication service today. I'd like to extend a special welcome to Mr. Prevatte and his family, to Jerry Richardson and his wife and their guests, and Limestone College President Dr. Darrell Parker, who you'll hear from momentarily. At this time, I'd like to ask the members of the Limestone College Board of Trustees who are present to please stand, and you can accept our greater dedication to Limestone College. Trustees, please stand. Speaking of our trustees, seated behind me on the platform, Mr. David Riggins, Vice Chairman of the Board of Trustees. Mr. Riggins. And also Richard Baines, who's the Chairman of our Athletics Committee. Mr. Baines, thank you. Thank you for being here. Speaking of our trustees, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention when we started this project 2 or 3 years ago, we were looking to find the perfect pose for this statue. And we leaned on Tommy Martin, one of our trustees, who combed through yearbooks for hours to find the right pose. And he found the right pose. He said, this is the right pose. And we showed it to Mr. Richardson, and he said, that's Coach Prevatte. Mr. Martin, thank you for all your help. We appreciate that. If you're a member of one of our local boards, our councils, the state legislative delegation, if you're here today, please stand so you can be recognized. Mayor Jolly, I know you're out there somewhere. Mr. Moore. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support of Limestone College. We appreciate it more than you know. At this time, please welcome Haley Martin. She's the director of our Spirit program, head coach of cheerleading, to provide today's invocation. Haley. This is a moment that everyone here has been waiting for. Mr. Hayes, Mr. Bloomer, when you're ready, are you ready? I want you to help me count down from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Thank you. If you notice, this striking statue of Coach Prevatte is not on a pedestal. That was no accident, it was by design, because those who know and love Coach Prevatte have told so many stories about how no matter what success he enjoyed, he never was one to put himself on a pedestal. To him, it was never about wins and losses. It was about building young men of great character. And because of the integrity he instilled in his players, the record-breaking wins and the championships just kept coming. The same success he found as a player and coach carried over to his role as an educator, and later in his life as a businessman. In my conversations with Coach Prevatte, he's never once allowed me or anyone else I've known to place him on a pedestal. Anytime one of his accomplishments is mentioned, he brushes them off and finds a way to build up somebody else. With great humility, time and again, he deflects tributes bestowed on him as a legendary educator or mentoring coach. So we're not about to put this statue on a pedestal. We knew the coach would not allow it. And those of you who played for the coach well know you don't go against Coach Prevatte's wishes. Instead, this will forever be a place where the people of Gaffney and Cherokee County, former players, fellow educators, loved ones, and friends, can walk up, take a photo, and reflect on what Coach Prevatte has meant to each of their lives. This will also be a place for generations, as we promised Mr. Richardson, others can come and learn about the legacy and the honor of the one and only Bob Prevatte. We're dedicating this not just for the coach, but also for Cherokee County and the generations that he's served here. Thank you all for being here with us today to share in this joyous occasion.
Good morning. Thank you, Charles. One of the many goals we had for the Bob Prevatte Athletic Complex was to make the statue of Coach Prevatte the focal point of the true community entrance into our athletic facilities. What better way to welcome the residents of Gaffney and Cherokee County to our campus than to have them greeted by a larger-than-life statue from a larger-than-life icon, Bob Prevatte. And conversing with some of his former players on those two-a-day practices back in August heat, they said, Coach Prevatte, this is very lifelike. They said he felt about 8 feet tall when he was putting him back on the end line to run some sprints. From the beginning, our goal was not to place Coach Prevatte's statue in the middle of the complex, but to have it out here, out front, at the community entrance, so it would be easily accessible by local residents, all who know and love him. It serves as a true centerpiece of the Bob Prevatte Athletic Complex. It will immortalize forever a legendary man, both on the playing field and in the classroom. This magnificent bronze statue is the first of its kind in our area. No one else is more deserving of this honor than Coach Bob Prevatte. The statue was created to give people a sense of Coach Prevatte in his well-known kneeling pose on game nights and at practices. If you look closely at the statue, you'll actually get to see two of Coach Prevatte's plays written on the notebook in his hand. The football is a replica of the 1961 state championship football. The artist put great detail into this. The time was now to show our dedication and respect for a true educator, mentor, coach, and legend by building this complex in his honor. Limestone College is proud to have played a part in this endeavor, and we appreciate Mr. Jerry Richardson for making such a dream a reality. Thank you for sharing your time with us this morning, and more importantly, thank you for sharing such a wonderful man with Limestone College. We will forever be grateful.
Folks, I really appreciate this. I really appreciate so many, living in Gaffney was the finest thing that ever happened to me. When I came to Gaffney, a lot of the fellow coaches that I coached against said, what in the world are you doing moving to Gaffney, South Carolina? That is the worst town in the state to coach in. Well, folks, I coached there for a number of years, and I'm still here. And there's no better town in my own view than Gaffney, South Carolina. One man I'd like to thank is a young boy. I knew him as a young boy. He was 14 years old when I first met him. He was an outstanding football player. He's the only player that I've ever had that I coached in high school. He went to college and then he played pro ball. But he's one of the finest men I've ever known. In fact, I worked for him. He gave me a job, let's put it that way. And I was real happy to get it because I was in education, and education don't pay too much. But he's a man that looked after me all these years. He's a man that I love, a man that I've admired for so many years, even when he's playing pro ball. I knew good well he could make it. But he's a person that I had the privilege of working for how many years? Mr. Richardson, about 18, 19 years, I think, that I worked for him. But folks, I appreciate your being here. It means an awful lot to me. Gaffney is a town that when I came, the other coaches told me they'll run you out in a year. And I'm still here, and it's a town that I love, and I'm not leaving. But thank you so very much for coming, and I appreciate it very, very much.
Coach, for those 18 years you worked for Mr. Richardson, you were still the boss, weren't you? No. Facility. To the glory of God, in whom we live and move and have our being. To the development of character among the athletes and the coaches and others who choose to honor the Limestone College spirit. To honor those whose lives and labors have been who have made this complex possible. To the memory of those whose names are written in our hearts and by which this complex will be identified and honored. To the perpetuation and the enhancement of the ideals of all of those who have dreamed and planned and built this complex. To the fulfillment of our purpose to serve this community, this region, and our state, and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, this complex has been dedicated. Let's give it a round of applause.